Yes! Yes, it's live! I think it's live. Guys, let me know. Am I live? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything clear? How is everybody? Hey! Oh God, there's so many of you guys. Hey, what's up? That alien. Hello there. Hello, I'm going to try and say hi to people as you guys come in. But I'm going to give it another minute or so while my beverage defrosts, because right now it's currently largely frozen. And yeah, I'll give it a minute for a bunch of you guys to get in and say hi. But what's up, everybody? It's great to see so many of you in the chat. Sorry about the impromptu and rather random live stream. I just decided yesterday, you know what? October's closing in. Got a day off. What should we do? Let's go live. Let's have a conversation because we have much to discuss. Mr. Unknown, hello and welcome to the stream. Electro Man, good to see you. Paper Bag Entertainment, what's up, Paper Bag Boy? That alien's in here. Lo, what's up? And Lo's back with a loan. Hello, hello. Hey, yo. Hey, Artbox, welcome to the Boom Squad, my brother, my G. Welcome, 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 and thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What an incredible way to celebrate today. Even though I'm not really celebrating anything, I'm just in a good mood. But it's great to see you all. Fipsy B2 is in the building. We got YouTubers over here. Alistair9. Cool Games, hello there. Gunnar Stewart, welcome to the stream. What's up? OP Gamer, hello, hello. Doraba, hi. Hi, hi, hi. Also, I've been screwing around with my microphone settings recently to try and make things a bit more clear because that is a complaint that I get frequently in my videos, and it's justified because usually my equalizing, you know, my microphone management isn't that great because I'm not very good at audio. I can edit to a reasonable degree, but there's only so much I can do with the audio, so I played around with that. So please let me know if it's working and if it's okay for you guys. If I'm too loud, let me know. I'll have a fiddle with the settings and see if I can turn things down. Also, you should be able to hear a backing track. You should be able to hear the wonderful Little Nightmares 2 OST playing in the background by the magnificent Tobias Lilja, who was the lead music designer for Little Nightmares. Hello Ruth, how are you? Just GKS, hello there. Hey Six, and happy birthday to Six's dad. Hello again, Skeleton Cleek, what's up? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you all. Yeah, Artbox, thanks so much. That was a great way to open the stream. It's great to have you as a member of the Boom Squad. Hello, I follow. I know it's you, I follow. You're the only person who talks in all caps. I always remember you. So many members in the building today. What's up, Nightmare? How's it going? Good to see ya. Alistair9, I played Little Nightmares 2 and 1. Have you ever played Very Little Nightmares for mobile? If not, you should. I'm playing it at the moment just for fun, like to catch myself up with a bit of lore and doing a little bit of research, and it's awesome. I forgot how good it was. Gunnar Stewart, I'm a small YouTuber. Me too! Me too! Hello, Spiral. Did you see Little Nightmares Secretary video? I did. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing the video, so if there's any existing footage or screenshots or anything like that of the secretary boss or whatever it is she's called, the multi-armed lady boss, you all know the one I'm talking about, the multi-armed boss character lady from the Candy Factory in Little Nightmares 3, that was unfortunately a unintentional leak. I don't know, it was a breach of NDA, basically. We weren't supposed to see that footage just yet, and I'm kind of sad that everybody's, like, it's already been made public, because it was supposed to be like a big reveal, which I'm sure has really upset the dev team, and I don't want to upset them any further. So until we get an official release for that character, I am not going to be reviewing any of that footage if it still exists online. I'm sure a lot of it's been taken down, but I'm not going to be sharing any of that here today. Doesn't mean we can't discuss that character, because we absolutely are going to discuss that character. But I'm not going to be analysing any of that footage or any of those screenshots or anything like that, just because it's not an official release from the developers, and I don't think it's very fair to take advantage of a non-disclosure agreement breach. So I'm going to avoid that. I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you understand. Sorry, I'm late. I was helping a kid on a mission to the pit. Hey, don't even worry about it, Nightmare. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. Gemini, can you turn slow chat off? I could, but if I do, I will not be able to keep up with these messages, like, by any stretch of the imagination. There is simply too many of you guys all at the same time, and I try to address as many of you as I can, because that's the whole idea of these streams. These streams are rare, and I tried the idea of them is so that I can read all of your comments, your thoughts, your theories, your speculations, your observations, and share some of my own with you, and have you be addressed in real time in order to show you guys the respect you deserve as my foundational audience. And it's fantastic to see you all, and it's fantastic to talk to you all, but it is quite difficult to continue to talk to everybody all at the same time, because you guys outnumber me like 50-1 most of the time. Well, in fact, right now, I think you outnumber me about 30-1. I'm not sure how many of you guys are in here at the moment, but there's a lot more than little old me, even with all 5 of my personalities. But hello. Hello, Nevada. Very Little Nightmares is super important at the beginning of the time. Like, yes, I agree. I agree, Artbox. Yo, cool games. Welcome to G Missile. You are officially an RPG. Welcome to the Boom Squad, although I'm sure you were already a member of the Boom Squad. But it is great to have you in. It's great to have you back. Hello, Fulcrum, Clamori, Glounk. A lot of familiar faces in here today. It is, unfortunately, yeah. It is a shame, Glounk, because it's something that I would love to discuss. Like, if it was a legitimate official release of that character, that's what we would be doing today. We would be watching that footage and hyper-analysing each and every movement that character makes. Every sound, every movement, every animation. Like, literally everything we can get. And unfortunately, that's just not the way it's going to be today, because as much as I would love to deep dive into that character, I'm sure we are going to get an opportunity to do so, but it won't be today. It won't be until the Little Nightmares dev team from Bandai and Supermassive actually release some official footage. Because what we've seen so far was very, very sadly a breach of NDA. I don't believe, or at least I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it was the YouTuber's fault. I don't know if they just like didn't read the agreement, or if they like misinterpreted something that was written within it or something like that. But either way, we shouldn't have seen that footage. We shouldn't be privy to that just yet. So yeah, not to worry, not to worry. We'll have our time. Have patience, little ones. Lost a Monster, do you have a Discord server? I'm working on a Discord server. It's very small at the moment, and it's currently a members only Discord server. But it's highly inactive because I don't do anything with it, because right now I don't feel like there's anything I could offer you guys that I could put within the Discord server, and I get so many messages every day on different platforms. Like I get YouTube comments, I get comments on Facebook all the time, I get DMs on Facebook, I get DMs on Discord, and it is really, really hard to keep up, and I don't want to seem like I'm being rude or ignorant or anything like that by not replying, but there's just so many. Like, I'll wake up and there'll be hundreds of them, and it's like, right, and I have to go to work. You know, I've got a day job, I've got several day jobs that I have to work on in the meantime as well. So unfortunately, I'm not able to answer. You can feel free to add me on Discord. You can find me in Just George's official Little Nightmares Discord, the one from the Reddit. I am in there now and again. I actually just posted a link to this video in the creators content tab or channel, whatever it is you call them. Yeah, it's a right call. Yeah, thanks, Fipsy. I appreciate that. I do feel like it's the same. It is. I think it is for the best, which is unfortunate because I'd love to be deep diving that, but I'm happy to discuss pretty much anything regarding Little Nightmares. I'm happy to discuss that. I'm happy to discuss the monster, the candy factory, everything surrounding it, absolutely. I just can't show you the footage. I don't even think I could if I tried anyway, because I'm sure it's been taken down, and rightly so, because, like I say, I believe it was a breach of NDA, and we should not have seen the footage that was released. I'm glad that I got to see it, but I'm also sad that the dev team have had something leaked, because they have a... Let me say this. Little Nightmares, to me, is a prime example of something called ergodic literature or ergodic media. And that's basically a story that doesn't want to be told. So they will leave everything up to interpretation. They keep it intentionally vague and ambiguous, and let you come up with your own interpretations of what they mean by certain things, because everybody as an individual will have a different interpretation of what the story is. You know, what characters mean within the world, what characters are involved in what attributes, and who belongs where, and different aspects on the timeline. I'm stumbling over my words because there isn't a solid description that I can give. I'm only just learning of ergodic literature myself. But it basically means it's a story that is hyper-ambiguous and open to interpretation on so many levels, that even the developers don't have a solid, direct answer on why. You know? Anyway. Gemini, would it be cool if I had a monster that's attached to a chain that attacks you but I can't reach it? Yes! Simon Russell remix. Shout out Kingsley and Maddie. What's up, Kingsley and Maddie Cyrus? It's great to see you guys, especially you, Kingsley. Trash. I remember you. What is up, guys? I'm glad to see you. I'm not sure you guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about today, because I'm not playing games. I'm not playing Baldi's Basics today. I'm not being rubbish at Baldi's Basics, which I am, unfortunately. But yeah, and it's great to see you, Big Daddy Sai, in the building as well. Hello, everybody. There's so many of you. Hello. Did I just see Bristella up in here a second ago? Oh, I thought I did. Hello, hello. Hello, Snowfall GT. What's up? Because email stuff, no, yeah, I keep on getting locked out of a certain server as well. Because when I post, because the thing is, I'm a bit of an emoji freak. Like, I overuse emojis in all of my posts. So when Discord finds out, when Discord sees one of my posts and it's got like blocks and blocks and blocks of wording, like paragraphs of wording, and it's peppered with emojis and there's links all over it, it assumes I'm a scammer or something, and it's just like, nope, and it just kicks me out of the chat and like bans me from servers and stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm a real person. I'm a real boy. At least I like to think so. Oh, and I've got my cherry coke as always to steal my nerves. What are your thoughts on the Overman's The Sounds of Nightmares episode fully animated? It's excellent. It's absolutely excellent. It's very, very well done, and I was seriously impressed. I remember a while back watching the trailer for it, and I thought, I bet that's dope. Because that eerie kind of... what is it? It's like stop motion animation. It's like the puppeteering and everything just creates this pseudo realistic, like semi-humanoid kind of look that Little Nightmares carries really well. And I think the Overman's done a fantastic job of that. What an excellent animation that is. I really hope they go on to make the rest of those, because I found that one particularly entertaining. Very, very good indeed. Gemini, what's today's stream about? Sorry if you already said and I didn't hear. No, Skeleton Clique, it's all good. So today's stream isn't necessarily about anything in particular. It is more just a case of giving me an opportunity to talk to all of you guys about some projects that are coming up, and to let you guys share, really. You know, you guys like to share your thoughts, your theories, your speculations, and have a conversation with me, and I love doing that as well. But shoo, go away, there's a flying thing in here. Where was I? Yeah, so it's really for you guys to voice your opinions and talk about some things between yourselves and to me, and have me address them in real time. But also, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about today, and I'm gonna talk about them in due time. But mostly a couple of announcements that I've got coming up, things that are going on in the works for October, because spooky season, Halloween, you know how it be, and there is a lot going on in the old noggin. The theory wheels are turning, and I've got some projects on the go that I think you guys could be excited about, but I'm saving them for October, because October being spooky month and with Halloween coming up, it's sort of well established that, you know, you've got to do something scary, and you've got to make an effort for Halloween, and I always like to do sort of like a big event at Halloween time. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Gemini, do you play Roblox? I do not, Nevada. Ghoul has a question. Do you think the six-armed lady looks like a spider? Yeah, very much so. I think that's intentional as well, because the way she moves, the sound she makes, and everything like that, it all sounds very spidery. The head. It's the head. The way she wears her hair gives that sort of like Black Widow kind of impression. That coupled with the arm, she's very spider-like, and I think that is by design, and I think it's very, very intentional. Gemini's maybe a random question, but how did you decide your channel name? That's kind of an interesting topic. So the Gemini concept comes from, basically, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to describe this that isn't going to make you guys think I'm like trying for a sob story or anything like that. So Gemini is a star sign, and it's represented by twins. Like, they're always twins. There's always two of them. Always represented as two. Like, anytime you see the Gemini symbol drawn, it's always two, like a mirror image, twins of one another, two sides of the same coin, sort of thing. Now, I am not a Gemini. I was born in June, but I am not a Gemini. The name Gemini comes from the twins concept because I am schizophrenic. Ever since I was little, I've always had like an inner monologue, but how everyone can think to themselves, you know, when you think, you hear your own voice. Well, I do that too, but my inner voice, my inner monologue talks to me. And if I talk to my inner voice, I get an answer. And that's the difference. And I started to recognize it as a defense mechanism, as a friend, as a person of confidence, somebody I could talk to. Like, something interesting about me is I don't get lonely, ever. I do not know what it feels like. I can't know what it feels like because I've never ever truly been alone, because I've always had me and the other guy. So the Gemini concept is basically my way of embracing my illness, because technically I'm sick, but I don't see it as a sickness, I see it as a strength. Because these days I've learned to embrace it and recognize it for what it is, to a point where the other guy has become like a predominant part of the channel. The other guy is where I get my confidence and the means to talk to you guys. Half of the time he's the one answering your questions because he holds all the memory banks. I can't even string together a coherent sentence without him. Let's talk in more Shang Tsung. Never! God, I love Mortal Kombat. Six-armed lady looks like she could be scarier than the teacher. I don't know, but I think the teacher's always had a really, really powerful effect on me, so I am not sure. But she definitely looks like one of the, if not the scariest enemy that we've come across so far. Oh, sorry guys, I'm going to scroll up a little bit and just try and read some more of these, because I've been missing these chats quite a lot. Exciting. Sounds like this stream's going to be amazing. Thank you, Skeleton Clique. I hope it will. It's not going to be the longest stream today. Like, we're not going to be here for like 3 hours like we normally are. I do have some stuff to do tonight. But I've had a day off and it's been lovely. I went to see my parents. I had dinner with them. It was a lovely day. So yeah, I've had a really good chill afternoon, and I wanted to wrap it up with you guys. So here we are. Gemini is your most hyped game of 2025. Little Nightmares 3. Oh, excuse me. This stuff, I love this stuff, but it's going to write me off because I drink it too quick. But yeah, for 2025, yeah, absolutely 100% Little Nightmares is my most hyped game. Although I am very, very excited for Glitched Out, which Just Jordan, Super Horror Bro, Mike are working on. If you haven't wishlisted that, I suggest you go to Steam and do so because it's going to be fantastic. And I'm also very, very hyped for Reanimal because who isn't? It looks incredible. I haven't paid too much attention to any other games that are coming out in 2025, but that's because my channel focuses predominantly on Little Nightmares and the history of these days. So so even though I don't really look into other games, I'm sure other stuff will be released that I'm excited for, but I don't know the dates of any of it. I haven't looked into it. The only one I'm really following is Little Nightmares, Reanimal, and Glitched Out. Nevada's going to do your hair, no problem, Nevada. You take your time. Enjoy your evening or morning. I'm not sure what time it is for you guys. For me, it is 7:20 at night. Good thing your Coke isn't frozen. It was, but it's kind of melted now. It's kind of chilled out. Chilled out, lol. Dang, you got tons of Coke. I know, it's so that I don't have to keep on going back downstairs and refilling, because I miss so much chat anyway. And obviously, like when I get miles behind on the chat, the last thing I need is more breaks in between. So if I have to keep stepping to commercial breaks so I can go refill my beverage, it's not very fair on you guys. So I figure I'll just fill it all the way to the top and drink it until it's empty. And then if I do need a refill, which I shouldn't because there's like 2 liters in there and it's not good for you, but it's cheat day, so I can eat what I want for now. The Overman honestly deserves to be famous for that animation. I absolutely agree, because Overman's done a fantastic job. I actually, when I clicked on the channel, I thought that was criminally underrated. Overman definitely requires more subscribers and more attention, because that was a masterpiece. It was expertly done. Very, very well crafted. Luke, I honestly love the Overman's work, and I'm glad I made contact with him while he was getting ready to upload the animated episode. I love the Lonnie Nadler even shouted at him. Oh, really? That is fantastic. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Lonnie Nadler had shouted him out, but that is fantastic. That's excellent. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that Lonnie actually gave him the props for that. He deserves it because it's excellent. It's truly excellent. If you guys haven't seen it, you should. It's brilliant. We have so much Little Nightmares use it take ages to talk about all of it. Yeah, it would, Electroman. It would. If Gemini directed a claymation based on the sounds of nightmares, I swear it's going to be a whole new level. Yeah, well, maybe, but I lack any kind of artistic qualities, which is actually a reason for the poll above, because I know that a lot of my audience are artists. A lot of you send me your artwork all the time. Some of it fan art, some of it Little Nightmares art, and some of it just your own works that, you know, you're proud of and that you're working on. I've been looking at some recently that some people have sent me over Discord that I thought is particularly impressive. I'm working very closely with an artist at the moment on my series for the Speculative Little Nightmares 2 DLC. We just got through chapter 3. I'm working on chapter 4, and I've literally just designed a character for it as well. Like, I got the artwork and everything like that. It's currently a secret. Like, I can't show you guys it yet because it'll give too much away, and the whole idea of this episode is to recognise the ergodic nature of this form of media, and let you try and make predictions and then circumvent them. I'm going to try and like throw a few twists and turns in there and see if I can trick you guys, basically. I'd love to know what you think it's going to be, but whatever you think it's going to be, it probably isn't. Or it might be, but there'll be something different about it. I'm not going to, like, completely scrap the lore or anything like that. I am still going to be sticking it into the canon and trying to make it fit as executively as I can. But yeah, you might be in for a couple of surprises that I'm excited to share with you guys. And that will all be coming in October, all being well, because the work is getting done. I'm very, very excited to share it with you. Yes. Think Bandai and Supermassive will release something for Halloween. I certainly hope so. Now, I was thinking that maybe it would be, and don't get your hopes up or anything, because I know absolutely nothing. I'm just going by the recent leaks. But I think it would be cool if they were to release a playable demo for us. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But people have played the game. People played it at PAX West recently, and people played it at Gamescom. They've played through the Necropolis demo, and they've played through the Candy Factory demo, which means... Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Either way, there are demos. There's 2 existing demos that people have played already, which means they exist right now, as of now, and they've existed for a while in something representing their final form, which is cool. And it means that we could potentially be seeing them coming to Steam and coming to consoles and things like that as downloadable trailers or demos, things that we can do to, like, you know, dip our toes into the water, because I don't think they'd be showing us anything that we don't expect. But I think that could be one of the main reasons why Bandai did not want the Spider Lady from the Candy Factory sharing just yet, or revealing like she was, because I think that she was going to feature quite prominently in that demo, the demo that we're going to get. And if we don't get one, it might be because they're trying to, like, rework it and stuff. For all I know, we weren't getting a demo. They never intended to give us one. I'm just thinking that if I was in their position, that's what I would be planning to do. I'd want to give us a really scary demo during the Halloween season to build more hype. If I was a part of their marketing team, which I'm not, that's probably what I would do. I would release the scariest bit of footage that we have in its, like, purest form, and put it out there to sort of, like, keep people hanging on. That's what I would do. Told you Ghoul, even Gemini thinks she's Spider. I win the argument. She's very Spider-like, Ghoul, I have to admit. She is very, very Spider-like. Have you heard of the game Still Wakes the Deep? I loved it and played it on PlayStation. It's also on PC. Still Wakes the Deep has some of the best voice acting I've ever heard in my entire life. It is absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, pinnacle. They nailed it. There was so much emotion and so much character and so much depth in that game. It was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that game. It was really, really good. Very, very cool story. Very scary. Great sound effects. Great design. Great storytelling. But the voice acting was just a cut above anything I've ever heard. Absolutely excellent. The voice actors in that were largely Scottish. They all talk with a Scottish accent. And I love the Scots. I really like Scottish. I love the Scottish accent. Some of my best friends in the whole world were Scottish people. And their accent just really sells to me. I don't know why. I just think it sounds... It's funny because they're so aggressive, but so friendly at the same time. Hey, where you go then? Exciting. Looks like this will be an amazing stream. Yeah, smash that like button now. Where you waiting? Which one of you doesn't know how to flush the toilet after years have had a shit? Disgusting. Oh, Scots. I love the Scottish. It's Gemini, not Jiminy. Oh, golly. Good golly gosh. I love y'all, Little Nightmares community. Yes, me too, Ruth. Me too. Kingsley's going to bed and says good night. Good night, Kingsley Cyrus. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Sleep well. No running in the halls. Do you know the Far Cry series? Winter, I've heard of the Far Cry series, but I've never actually played them myself. It looks interesting though. Lego Little Nightmares, Lemon Lord, that would actually be dope. I could get behind that. You know, I played, Just Jord made a fan game years ago called Little Paper Nightmares, and the character animations in that largely remind me of Lego. Even they have, so you put leeches in the game as enemies, like the primary enemy design, and they're kind of blocky because they're made of paper, like they're, what is it? What's that? Origami. They're like origami leeches, so they look kind of like Lego, so I called them Lego leeches. Bye, Gem chat. Sorry I couldn't stay. Hey, Fulcrum, absolutely no problem, Fulcrum. It's been great to have you in. I'm sorry I didn't get to your chat and stuff a little bit sooner. Of course, I'm behind the times as you might expect, because that's normal. But you guys all expect that of me by now. You guys know that if you write me a message, it's going to take me about 10 minutes to read it, because I gas, and I don't know when to shut up. I hope we do get a factory demo. So do I. Skeleton, no, I don't think they're going to show us much of the mirror monster at all. I think that that's going to be the last thing they reveal. I think they're going to keep that really heavily under wraps and keep that completely condensed as best they can. I feel like that is going to be the final reveal, if they reveal it at all. Personally, I'm hoping for something similar to the Little Nightmares 2 digital comics. Yeah, Artbox, that would be fantastic. I actually wondered this the other day, because I know they're releasing the novels. They've got 2 novels. They're not available, unfortunately, but they were advertised on a couple of different websites that I visited looking for them. One of which was Amazon. When I first started to look, I thought, oh, well, I'll just see if they're on Amazon. They were, but they weren't available to pre-order. They didn't have a blurb or a description or a price tag. All they had was the titles, which sound good, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know if they're going to relate to the Sounds of Nightmares or Little Nightmares universe as a whole, or just strictly Little Nightmares 3. I have no idea until it comes out. Maybe in October, Bandai and Supermassive might give us a little bit of insight into those. Maybe a release date for the books or something like that. But yeah, I would absolutely love a digital comic. I was reading the digital comics just yesterday, funnily enough, because I like scrolling through them. I think they're fun. And it's great for research as well when I want to, because obviously with me doing the speculative DLC series, it helps for me to look through all of the lore, like all of the canon lore, all of the existing lore. So I scroll through them. I look through the comics over there that I've got. And obviously I play the games. I play Very Little Nightmares, play Little Nightmares 2. Accidentally microwaved a few children from the nowhere. Acoustic Adventures. That's terrible. What do they taste like? Since they said they'd reveal more about a new location, it could centre around the carnival. It absolutely could, Artbox, and I hope it does, because I'm very, very excited for the carnival. Super excited for that. Because the thing that strikes me really heavily about the carnival is the fact that Supermassive wrote the episode of the Sounds of Nightmares that had the carnival in it. And Supermassive are working on the game itself, Little Nightmares 3, and there is a carnival in it. So it stands to reason that the things that were in the Sounds of Nightmares could very well be featured, or at least cameo in or appear as something in the actual game. So I'm really excited to see what they bring up. People in Still Wakes Are Deep actually sound Scottish and not just Americans putting on. But see, that's what I mean, Ghoul. It's so authentic, and I think that's what sells it so well, is the fact that the voices, the sounds, the voice acting is legitimate. It's genuine, legitimate, and I love it. Hello, Little Bit of Nightmares. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Snuff, I feel like a Scot is threatening me. Yeah, well, you'd know if there were. In fact, I don't know if you would know if there were. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm talking. You absolutely would. Well, good night. Sorry, Simon Russell. Let me just address Simon Russell's children. Good night. They've probably already gone to bed, but good night, everybody. Good night, Maddie. Good night, Kingsley. And I'd say good night to Big Daddy Cyrus, but he's a grown-ass man and he's probably staying awake to listen to me talk. Yeah, I thought they were Scottish. No, they are Scottish, Hazza. They are Scottish. Or at least most of them are. Some of them have got like different. I think I heard there's an Irishman in there, and then there's I think there was a Yorkshire fella as well, a man from Yorkshire, England, which is actually where I'm from, but he had a much thicker accent than me. Bro, sorry for my spam. My chat is lagging out. Hey, don't worry about it. It's okay, Altac. That happens to me all the time as well. Sometimes I have to like double check. I've got 2 screens on the go, and one of them is actually playing this live stream. And that's why I keep looking down, because I have to keep checking to see if I'm live, because on this screen, if the chat goes, like if I get like 5 or 6 messages all at the same time, it freezes on my screen. So I'm like, oh no, did my stream die? So I look down and I can see, no, it hasn't. It's still going. It's absolutely fine, because it's playing on my other screen down there just fine. It's just on the main screen it lags. So yeah, don't worry about it, Altac. Candy Factory Monster is a giant angry lollipop with a big box of marshmallows. Aye, cool. Yeah, sure. Gemini in chat, I've been craving tangerines, oranges for weeks now. I eat like 5 a day and I don't know why. They're good for you. A bit of citrus fruit and vitamin C does you good. You want to eat them. The only time I'd say don't eat too many tangerines or oranges is if you've got like heartburn or indigestion or something like that, because they're high in acidity. So they're not great for your teeth. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, they're fantastic for getting your vitamins and nutrients in. Yeah, you go ahead. Gorge them. Altac is my favourite person in the world. That alien there giving props. Acoustic Adventures, they tasted like fish. Did you find them on the mall? Watch Fipsy's fan-made trailer, Gemini. I did, Altac. I thought it was very good. I liked that video. I actually give it a little thumbs up as well. Snowfall GT, just check the list and it's literally based off the game plot. I'd still buy it. But TF. What are we reviewing? Cat in the Lemon. We're not really reviewing anything. We're just having like an open discussion. I'm basically just going to read what you guys have to say and then answer it as best I can. So if you guys have questions, feel free to fire them at me. If you just want to talk, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm happy to just be here and converse with you guys. You know, if the chat does like quieten off or slow down towards the end, I may like pull up a video for us to review together or something like that. But really, it's just a case of having a conversation about what we've got coming up in October. Like, what are they going to reveal? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Are you excited for it? And are you excited for what I've got coming up? Because I've got a couple of things coming up as well. I've got my Speculative DLC Chapter 4. That episode is coming out in October, close at Halloween. I'm doing a special Halloween live stream giveaway, so I'm going to be giving something away. It may be copies of the game. It all depends on like how much money I have to spare at the time, and how popular the idea is, because obviously if I think it's going to do very well, then I'm going to be able to give back a lot more. And with it being Halloween, I'd really like to give you guys something to be excited about, because I'm very excited for Halloween. And I'm also thinking about throwing together a little competition. Yeah, what do you guys think of having, like, because I was going to make an episode just dedicated to showing off people's fan art. Well, not fan art necessarily, but Little Nightmares art. Because a lot of the people I've spoken to recently, particularly on Discord and things like that, who reach out to me, a lot of people like to send me their artwork, their pictures and their drawings and their paintings and their 3D animations and things like that. And I find them all fascinating. I absolutely love to see them. But I don't often have a chance to like fully review them and show them the respect they deserve. So I was thinking about putting them all in a video. That's why I've got the poll up there. So if you guys want to, like, because there's like, I don't know, the vote. So there's 66 votes on there at the moment. 53% of which say, yes, I am l'artiste. Which means, yeah, I'm an artist and I'd like my artwork featured in an upcoming video. So that's 33 people that would consider sending me artwork to feature in a future video. And I think that's quite a substantial amount. And that's like, we've only just begun with that. Like that poll will probably have 100 votes or more by the end of the stream. But even with 33, I think I'm going to end up making that episode. So if you guys are interested in seeing that or being involved in that, please feel free to let me know in the comments right here. Ooh, right, let me just scroll up a second. Google Games. I'm from Scotland and I can confirm the Scottish accent is the most intimidating accent. Yep. No, they were to sleep the early extra. Hey, no problem, Simon. Absolute pleasure, my man. Absolute pleasure. Fipsy's so good in editing that he makes fire content even when he's bored. Yeah, to be fair, he does. Gemini, if they do release a demo, I'm not going to play it. I'm actually going to try and avoid playing it to keep fresh, but I have to avoid watching any YouTube whatsoever. Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to avoid spoilers with a game like this, it's practically impossible, because you have to ban yourself from YouTube for like a year. Because you can't touch anything, because the algorithm knows that you want to know. The algorithm knows that you're interested, so it will constantly keep shoving it in your face. Like, by the way, have you seen this, and this, and this, and this animation, and this reveal, and this trailer, and this interview? You know, they will keep throwing it at you, being like, you know, digest our content. And if you're trying to prevent spoilers, it's pretty much impossible unless you decide to just close YouTube and stay off it. Even just talking in the Discord and stuff, the amount of times I've opened up the Discord just to check, you know, what people have had to say and look at people's artwork and things like that. And I see things that I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was a thing. You know, like, people beat me to it. And I am, like, obsessed, like, unhealthily obsessed with Little Nightmares. Also, sorry if I'm being really loud, by the way. I messed with my mic settings recently to try and make the volume a little bit, like, well, at least make the audio a little bit more crisp and the volume a bit better equalized for my upcoming video. And I don't know how well that translated to live streams, but I hope it's okay for you guys. Cheese of Truth. Hello, Gemini. Hello, Cheese of Truth. Yesterday, I got my homemade alone crochet plush. That sounds, that sounds really nice. I want one. That sounds really cool. Where did you get that from, Cheese? Let me know. Marto, what do you like the most about Little Nightmares lore? Do you think Supermassive could change the canon a little bit? I do think so, because it seems they understand the Nowhere, not the same way as Taz. I don't think anyone will understand it the same way Tarsier does, but I do think Supermassive are doing a fantastic job, because, as Just Jord has covered before, when they handed over the franchise, when Tarsier handed it over to Bandai and Supermassive, they didn't just say, do what you want with it, goodbye. They handed them all of the documentation, all the storyline, all of the canon, all of the lore. They have what's called a lore Bible. And it's basically, this is what you're allowed to change. This is the stuff that absolutely has to remain consistent throughout. And they will have some of that. So, and I don't doubt they're going to be sticking to that, because if they weren't, we would have already spotted it. You know, we're too deeply ingrained in this franchise to not recognise when mistakes are being made, as far as the canon goes. But what I like the most about it is the fact that it is so ambiguous and it keeps you asking questions. That's, in fact, what inspired me to change my channel and sort of rebrand a little bit from just a standard, like, Let's Player or gamer to a theorist. Because I found myself fixating on Little Nightmares, and I kept going back to the game, going back to the lore, going back to the comics, and wanting to find these answers. And these answers may or may not exist, yet it draws you in. I'll go back to the term I used earlier on that you may have heard if you were here. I referred to it as what's called ergodic literature or ergodic media, and it's basically a story that doesn't want to be told. They litter a couple of breadcrumbs throughout, but largely they don't hold your hand. They don't even tell you how to play. You notice when you're playing Little Nightmares for the first time, it doesn't immediately come up and introduce the character. This is 6, she is 9. She, you know, you press this to jump, this to run, this to move. This is the janitor, this is the mop. It does none of that. If you want to know, you have to do the work. You have to work. In fact, that's actually where it comes from. The term ergodic comes from the Greek, meaning ergodic. I'm trying to think of there's two terms, like erg and otic, or odic. Sorry, erg and odic, and it's like the Greek terminology means to read and work, which basically means if you want to understand the story, you have to do the research, like you have to work. You won't just get all the answers at the end of the book. Like there's a good shot. You could play this game 10, 20, 30 times and still not have all the answers. I don't have the answers, and I've got over 200 hours in this game and hundreds more researching it. Just Jord doesn't have all the answers. Super Horrible Mike doesn't have all the answers. I don't even think Lonnie Nadler could give us all the answers, because it's made up of so many people's headcanons, and I think that's the beauty of it. That's what I like the most about the Nowhere and the Little Nightmares franchise, is the fact that it's just, it's left to interpretation, which means that all of us, myself included, are allowed to just be wild. create these theories and think up these ridiculous narratives. I don't want to use the term ridiculous because they're not always. Sometimes they make sense, and sometimes you can really like connect the dots and oh my god, that makes perfect sense. Like that's what I try to do with my videos, with the speculative DLC series and with my theory videos and stuff. I like it for when people watch them, for them to be able to watch the video and have me say two different things and connect them. The idea is, and my goal in those videos is for you as the viewer to sit there, watch the video, enjoy it, and go, oh yeah, you know, and you can connect it through what I've said. I like that. I like that a lot. Sorry, I've lost where I was. The Cat in the Lemon. There's a leaked footage for 2 minutes of the game. Shall I send link? No. That's absolutely fine. Cat in the Lemon. I am intentionally avoiding that footage. I have seen it. I've seen the extra footage that you're talking about, but unfortunately that leaked footage was not intended to be released, and the YouTuber that released it, whether they intended to or not, and I don't know, I'm not trying to build a straw man or shoot any shots at anybody or anything like that. It could very well be a misunderstanding or an accident or something like that, or a misinterpretation, but unfortunately, that footage being leaked is a breach of NDA. It's not an official release, so it's not something that I'm going to be reviewing today because the developers don't want us to see that yet. It's not intended for our eyes just yet. And I think I would be doing a disservice to the game developers to bring it up in front of all of you guys and be like, hey, look at this. And I've seen it myself before I found out it was before it was a breach of NDA. For those of you guys that don't know, an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement, and that is a form that you sign if a company if Bandai were to come to me and say, do you want to play this demo early? And I say, yes, I'd absolutely love to. They'll be like, okay, that's fine, but you have to sign this contract to say that you won't reveal any of this information, any of this footage, or any of these details until such and such a date. And I would, if I signed that, I would absolutely have to agree beyond any shadow of a doubt that I am going to stick to that NDA. It'd mean that even if I know the information and people ask me about it, I can't tell them. And that's totally fine because that's how a lot of companies work. It's not just because Little Nightmares is hyper ambiguous like I demonstrated a minute ago. It's because a lot of companies like these slow burn releases. It builds hype and it keeps the excitement going and it avoids spoilers. So yeah, well, I really appreciate your offer, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, it was fantastic seeing it. It's very, very exciting, but it's not something I'm going to be covering in this stream because I don't want to do a disservice to the game developers who are trying their damnedest to give us a great product. And I feel like I would be fueling the fire by ruining it and exposing the leaked footage to the world. Well, not to the world, but to like the 30 of you guys that are kicking around in here. I'm sure all of you have seen it as well. It's been up for long enough and people keep sharing it and showing it around. And that's fine. It is what it is. I've seen it. I enjoyed it. But I'm not going to be covering it just because that's not what they would want me to do at this stage. Yeah, Supermassive have done a phenomenal job so far. I agree, Ghoul Games. And I had my doubts as well. Like, I made it clear under no uncertain terms that I was nervous when Supermassive got their hands on this IP because I was like, oh no, a new developer, scary, that's frightening. It was actually just Jord that put me at ease about that. And now that I've been able to, take a step back and go into things with an open mind, it's cool. Because I did the same thing with Little Nightmares too. When I saw Mono for the first time, I thought, he doesn't look like he belongs in this universe. I don't know if I like this character. He's not Six, because I'd grown used to Six. I'd played Little Nightmares and Very Little Nightmares, and at the time I didn't know there was a difference between Six and the girl in the yellow raincoat. So I was used to seeing Six all the time. So the fact that we had a new character threw me all the way off. And I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And it ended up being better than the first one, in my opinion. I loved it, and I love Mono. He's such an important character to me now. And I didn't go into it in an open mind. So when I was exposed to the Necropolis, and I seen the trailer for the first time, and I saw Lone Alone, while a lot of people were like, oh, the colour palette doesn't match, these characters don't, you know, the character designs are off, it doesn't really suit being in nowhere. I was sitting there thinking, yes, it does. Yes, it does. They know something. They know something. They're up to something that we don't know. Yeah, it's like these changes, like the colour palette in the Necropolis and things like that, are jarring on first glance. But I think that's the point. It's supposed to throw you off. It's good. It's good. Trust me, it's good. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I had my doubts. I no longer have doubts. Have you seen the Penguin show? No, but funnily enough, when I stopped by my father's house earlier on, I did see a trailer for it, and I thought it looks excellent. I unfortunately don't have a lot of time on my hands to watch TV, but while I was there, my dad was watching The Walking Dead, and when the adverts came on in between, I saw a commercial for the Penguin. It looks good. Let's see. What if for a DLC it's called The Secrets of the Mirrors, and you play as the kids from the 6 comics? Yeah, see, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? How cool would that be if you get to play as those and experience those stories? I'd love to know more about that, because that's the thing. That's something else that Just Jord alluded to, and I agree with entirely, is Little Nightmares isn't about 6's story. The first one is, and in large part the second one is. Well, they all are, to be honest, but that isn't the primary focus. The Nowhere is the primary focus. And while we've like grown to love 6 and her character, and she's like very firmly established as like the main character in the Little Nightmares games and the series and everything that we know, it's because she's the most recognizable. But as time progresses, I think that we'll all come to agree that the Nowhere and the inhabitants of it, and just the concept of the Nowhere as an overarching umbrella term, is more important than any individual character is by themselves. I'm a Lancashire lad, Gemini, but my granddad is from Glasgow, and I played it while he came to stay at my... Oh, that's really cool. What did your granddad think? Did he agree about the voice acting? Whenever I get angry, I just bully my mono mask. Right, hold on, let me see. Gemini, how can I get Moderator? Unfortunately, I don't. I only have a couple of mods, but it's a position that well, to be honest, I don't even necessarily use it, but my moderators are people that I know personally. It's not something that I just say, you know, yeah, you can be a mod, and you can be a mod, and you can be a mod. You know, it's like I wouldn't say that it's like a friggin' elite position or anything like that, and it's just there's very few people that I trust to put in a position of control like that. That's all it is. You know, but stick around. You never know. Never know what could happen. But the mods that exist at the moment, they are people that I know personally and I'm very close to in real life. And I don't have many of those people. I intentionally keep myself distant from people. Oh, what do we say? Eduardo, hi Gemini. I think I'm the only Romanian viewer here. Well, hello, greetings. I wish I could say hi in Romanian. I don't know. I don't know a lot of Romanian. In fact, I don't know any Romanian. The only Romanian I know is the word opt, which is 8, because I was at the gym training with a Romanian guy, and I remember when he was counting my reps, he when he got to 8, he said opt, and that sort of stuck with me, and I don't know why. I think it's because that was all I could do. He said opt, and then I put the weights down. But yeah, I'm sorry that I can't greet you in your native language, but hello, big up to Romania. How are you? And welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're in. I'm sure I recognise your name as well. Have you been in before? The thing about their fluid and mysterious story is that it has a lot of wiggle room for expansion. The story type that you pointed out. Yeah, exactly, Artbox. This is the thing, is I love Little Nightmares and the lore surrounding it because we can expand on the Nowhere and make it our own. In fact, Fulcrum isn't in the chat at the moment. I think they've left already. But Fulcrum sent me a fantastic interview with Little Nightmares developer Dave Mervick. And he alluded to the fact that Little Nightmares as a concept and the Nowhere as a concept isn't just one person's idea. It was taken from everyone. So they basically interviewed everybody who worked on the project and asked them, like a series of questions. What were your childhood fears? What was a negative experience you had growing up? What did you fear? What did you dread? What did this have effect on you? And they took all of those. They took everybody's ideas and everyone's thoughts and everyone's fears, and they blended them together to create the Nowhere. And I believe that the Nowhere is created as a fabrication from the children's minds. Like, I think these new areas, these new enemies, and these new concept designs, they are representative of the children's actual fears. So I think every person in the Nowhere, every child who is taken to the Nowhere contributes to the way it looks and the way it behaves. And I think that's largely true of the game as a franchise as a whole, because when Dave Mervick went around as like a creative director and he was interviewing members of the team and things like that, there was other people involved, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of people. I still haven't finished watching the entire interview because it went on for a while, and I don't have a lot of time to watch stuff, but it was fascinating and I did get to learn a lot from it. But that was Fulcrum that sent me that interview. In fact, it was fantastic. But yeah, sorry, I've gone on a tangent again, but yeah, I agree with you, Artbox, absolutely. Idiotic Bookworm, hello there. I thought it was I could have sworn I read earlier that it was a family member's birthday, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get to see you today, but I'm glad you can make it, even if it's just to say hi. Hello, Idiotic Bookworm, and welcome to the stream. Gemini, Little Nightmares 2, Mono is stuck in the loop, but then doesn't that mean 6 is 2? I don't really get how the loop works in regarding 6. Does she go to the mall, then back to the Pale City? See, that's the thing, Skeleton. So the loop theory is one prevailing theory, but it's not it's not 100% accepted. So it is sort of alluded to that the whole thing is a loop. It just constantly cycles over and over and over again, like a recurring nightmare. A recurring nightmare is a dream where you go to sleep, you have a bad dream, you wake up, and then you go back to sleep, you have the same dream. And every night it keeps happening over and over and over again. It happens to me all the time. Recurring nightmares are where you sort of already know the result, but it doesn't get less scary. And I think that's kind of how it was being represented in Little Nightmares, was that it was a loop like that. But I don't know exactly how it affects 6, because after she leaves the signal tower, she goes to the mall. But we don't know what happens to her after that. After she leaves the mall, where does she go? We don't know yet, and we might never find out. And we can speculate on that, and that's fantastic. We can theorize about it, which is, again, great. We can make up stories and potential DLCs and a bunch of other ideas. We can write fan fictions, and we can speculate on what happened to 6 afterwards. But until we know where she went and what she did, we don't know if it's actually a loop or if the signal tower just manipulated Mono into thinking it was a loop. Or maybe the signal tower, maybe time works differently in the signal tower to how it does in the rest of the Nowhere. Maybe it was just his mind that was being warped and manipulated. We're not sure yet. Clamori, will you be doing a playthrough of Little Nightmares 3 when it releases? Day 1. Clamori, day 1. The day it comes out, I will be doing 2 things. I will be purchasing several copies of the game because there are a number of people, yourself included, actually, Clamori, weirdly enough. Oh, excuse me. So I do giveaways every now and again, and usually when I do a giveaway, I offer a copy of Little Nightmares 3 or Reanimal. And everybody that's won these competitions so far has chosen to receive a copy of Little Nightmares 3 when it comes out. So the first thing I'm going to do the day it comes out is buy a bunch of them. I'm going to buy like a bunch of different copies, and I'm going to send them to the people who won these competitions, Clamori being one of them. So to make sure that you guys receive it as soon as possible. As soon as it comes out, the day it releases, I'm going to buy a bunch of them, send them to you. Then I'm going to buy a copy for myself, fire up the computer, load up OBS, turn the camera on, and I'm going to play the hell out of that game. I won't be playing it live, so you might see other people play it before me, and I'm quite sure that there will be other creators, bigger creators than me, that get early access to the game, which is fine. That's, you know, that's another thing that developers do. They will give like an early access to certain creators who are absolutely deserving, and that's totally cool. I don't think for a second I'll be one of them, but it would be awesome if I was. If I'm not, it's totally fine. Which is like exactly what I expect. But I will be playing it the day it comes out for official release. So as soon as it becomes available to the public where I can actually buy the game, I will be making a video and I will be uploading it that day. So the day it comes out, a few hours later, you'll see my first playthrough. Or at least chapter 1 of, because I'll probably play it in segments. I don't think I'll do it as one continuous video. I think I'll make like 4 videos back to back, covering like each chapter. It might be 4, it might be 5, it might be 6. It depends how long the game is. But I don't want to make any promises I can't keep. But yeah, I'll absolutely be playing it, Clamari, for sure. I decorated my room for Halloween today. I bet that looks dope. Little bit of nightmares. I was actually looking... well, I went out today to do some shopping. I just went to buy food. And when I was buying my fruit, I bought some like blueberries and apples and stuff. And I looked for pumpkins because I suspected that maybe they'd have them for sale by now. They don't. And that's fine because there's no point in buying one right now. But the thing is, in my town, and I'm sure it's the same in a lot of your towns as well, we have a very limited supply of pumpkins at Halloween. So they'll get like 200 of them in the store, and then 2 hours later there'll be none. They will sell out immediately, like rapidly. So if you want a pumpkin, you have to make sure that you're there early in the morning to receive one, so you can go in and buy them. But I want to get one. I like carving a pumpkin. You know, I just sit here on my own, carve a pumpkin. I usually put it in the background of my Halloween videos. If you guys watch my previous live streams, I generally do a live stream Halloween special. I have done like every year for the last like 3 years, and I always have a pumpkin sitting in the background. In fact, I think last year I had 6. I had like a little 6 mannequin in the background holding my pumpkin. Hello, Mooncake. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? The cake is in his house. What's up? I think the last boss in Little Nightmares 3 is going to be Steve from the Minecraft movie. Good lord, I hope not. Cat 11, it wasn't a YouTuber. And how is it on YouTube? Oh, it was on Twitter, was it? Right, I see. And then someone's gone and taken it and put it on YouTube, I see, right. Sorry, Cat and the Lemon, I didn't understand that. That was my bad. But yeah, regardless, whatever it was on, I'm not going to cover it today. I'm interested in it. I've watched it, don't get me wrong. I was really interested. But after finding out it was like a breach of NDA, it disheartened me a little bit, and I'm sort of like, I don't really want to touch that now. Just because it's probably going to upset some people, you know, by me sharing it, and I definitely don't want to do that because we're going to get to see it, you know, like it doesn't help to be impatient. I am impatient, don't get me wrong, I want it all now. If it was up to me, the game would be released tomorrow, but they obviously have their reasons for keeping certain aspects of the game to themselves, and this is one of them that was just an unfortunate leak, and they've stated that, you know, it wasn't supposed to be leaked. It's out there now, unfortunately, and there's only so much they can do as far as damage control. But it's not something that I'm going to be covering in this stream. I will cover it eventually. I can't wait to cover it. I'm super excited to, but I can't until they give us an official release. Jem, have you watched the motion animated The Sounds of Nightmares the Overman made? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that question's actually come up quite a lot in this stream, and I have. Bookworm, I watched it, and I thought it was excellent. The Overman has done a fantastic job of that animation. I also heard that Lonnie Nadler shouted them out, which is great because they deserved a lot. I remember watching the video and looking at like the sub count and the view count, and I was quite early to the video as well because they posted it on the Discord. And I was one of like the first 10 people to watch it. So I was watching it and I watched it, I thought it was great, and then I was like, doesn't have that many subscribers and views. This is criminally underrated. I felt like going on there and sharing, because the Overman has made a lot of videos recently that I have really enjoyed, particularly the one that explores the Wax Bellman as well. I thought that was really cool, because funnily enough, I've been researching the Wax Bellman recently. But yeah, excellent, absolutely excellent piece of work it was. All right. Oh, sorry, you jumped again. Okay, let's see. No. Cat in the Lemon. I don't mean the necropolis. I mean the spider lady. I've seen the footage of the candy lady boss, the candy factory boss. I've seen her. I've seen her move. I've seen her chase the characters. I've seen everything she did. I've seen the leaked footage that you're talking about. I just can't show it here. Like I can't share any links. I can't share any screenshots. I can't. But I mean, I can, but I'm not going to, because I found out the developers that it wasn't supposed to be leaked. That footage is not supposed to be on the internet at the moment, and until the developers come to me and say, you know, this is official, you know, this is her, this is, you know, we've exposed her to the world, you know, we've shown everybody it. But right now, I'm not going to cover it just for that reason. It's not that I don't want to, I absolutely do, but it won't. But it won't be on this channel until they give us an official release at the moment, I'm afraid. Mr. Gemini, do you think Fipsy enjoys and squirms around when he sees I uploaded fan art for him? He definitely squirms. I know he definitely squirms. He wasn't impressed with the amount of curses, but he did like the voice acting. Yeah, well, I mean, he's got to understand, in Scotland, cursing is just like, I don't know, it's like a staple, isn't it? It's the same as we say, yeah. Blazing Fire, what's up, Parks? How you doing? It's good to see you in the stream, buddy. I haven't seen you for a while. How you keeping? You doing all right? Great to see you, dude. Mr. Gemini is crazy. Six-hand lady looks like she could be scarier than a teacher. She could be, but I'm reserving judgment because the teacher, to me, is the scariest character. Always has been, always will be. So I'm reserving judgment. But she definitely looks like she could give her a run for her money. I think that they made the six-armed lady a little too complex. You know, she looks like a Disney villain. Maybe. I did wonder if having so many arms would be, would take away from the pseudo-humanism, the uncanniness of the character. Because something that really gets me, something that really sells me on the Little Nightmares franchise is the fact that the characters are almost human. They're very human. You know, like the chefs, they just look like two fat dudes, don't they? You know, the chefs, the guests, the viewers, they're just people, but there's just something off about them. There's just something weird that you can't quite pin. You know, like their eyes are too far apart, or their dimensions are too off, their arms are too long, or their faces are too screwed up, or whatever. You know, there's any number of reasons why we can look at that and be like, you know, it looks like a person, but I know it's not. Whereas the six-armed lady, she's clearly not a person. So I don't know if it's like, is she too much? It was the same reason the monster baby didn't frighten me. I like the concept and the idea of it, but I don't feel like she fit with like the rest of the enemies in the franchise. I feel like she's a step outside of the norm, which could be good and refreshing, and I don't know what it's going to be like until I know more about the character and get to experience what it's like running away from it. But the monster baby to me is very obviously a monster. There's no like it leaves very little up to interpretation. So with the teacher, it's like, why does Mono see the teacher as such a frightening character? Like, why is this character so scary? And I can relate to a lot of that because to me, my teachers when I was growing up were terrifying. Like, I used to have teachers that you would actively hide from, and if they found you, they would beat you. Like, they would actually hit you with sticks. I'm showing my age there, and also the fact that I was raised in a Catholic school and they were awful. But, that's just how it was.
So I can relate to that. But the monster baby, it's just like, you know, I see the monster baby the same way I see Godzilla. It's like, yes, it's scary, but of course it's scary. It's a friggin' 60-foot beast with no rhyme or reason. You know, it's just laying waste to the city. If you're in its way, you're going to get crushed. So it doesn't have this, doesn't give me the same fear factor. I think the fear it does play on is what's it called? Is it titanophobia? Where you're afraid of, like, you know, you experience something that's really big and it's daunting because it's so big. Astronauts get it a lot when they, you know, when they're in the space station and look down on Earth and realize how big Earth actually is. When you look out of the space station window and you see the planet in its entirety and you're like, oh, it's really daunting. Or like when you stand in front of a redwood tree and you realize it's 3 times thicker than your house and 100 times as high. You know, just something daunting about being around something that big. So I get it, and I feel like it could fit, but it just doesn't frighten me. The spider lady, she probably will frighten me, but not for the same reason that the teacher does. Because the spider lady I don't find quite as unsettling, at least not yet. But we don't know that much about her. And I haven't run from her yet. Like, she hasn't chased me yet. So until she chases me through a vent, I'm gonna reserve judgment on her. Where are we? Yeah, I was in the last stream as well. Thank you for the shout out. You're more than welcome, Edward. It's no problem. By the way, hello is Buna. Am I saying that right? Buna. Buna in Romanian. Buna. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but forgive my terrible Romanian. And hello, Taco. I can't believe the Candy Factory is real. I can't wait to explore it. Yeah, I know. I was super excited because for those of you guys that don't know, my first ever theory video was on the Candy Factory before it was the Candy Factory, like before they came out. But when we just had the footage of the factory section, it was just like, you know, we had about 4 seconds worth of factory footage, and that was it. And nobody knew anything about it. And I cottoned onto a couple of ideas that, like, set the cogs whirling, and I figured out that it was a candy factory. So I made a theory video surrounding it. It ended up taking off, and it quickly became the most popular video on my channel. And then next thing, like 11 months later, they release the footage and confirm it and just say, yeah, it is a candy factory. You were right about this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you know. So I was really, really excited. I couldn't believe it either. But like, I mean, a part of me could, because I was like, ha, called it. I knew. But the truth is, we don't know. Like, I can speculate all I want. I can do all the research. I can add it all up, and I can say, you know, I've linked this, this, and this together. So it has to be concrete. You know, it's concrete evidence. I am right about this. And then they could just change it at the last minute and be like, well, actually, no, it's a soap factory, and, you know, because of this, this, and this. And they could completely blow my theory out of the water, and it could have been wrong. A lot of my theories might be wrong. They probably are, because that's the truth of it. In a universe as ambiguous as Little Nightmares and the Nowhere is, you're very, very rarely right. All we can do is speculate and try to provide evidence to the contrary, and see how well people accept it. A lot of people accepted the candy theory was right, the candy factory theory was right, because it was. And I had a lot of evidence to support it, and I did my research. But I also did my research when it came to the hostile theories, and I was wrong, at least about one of them. I was wrong about Kester Lovelace, who played Otto in The Sounds of Nightmares, being the same guy that played Dr. Ingen from Static, which was another Tarsier game. Because it wasn't Kester Lovelace, he just sounded like him. It was Dave Mervick that played Dr. Ingen. But I didn't know that until recently. So, although in the theory video I strung together a lot of postulations that made sense on paper, it turns out I was actually incorrect on a number of different things. So the conclusion of my theory was wrong, on account of me getting lost along the way. And that's fine. That's the fun of it. That's the way it's supposed to be. It was enjoyable to do. If I just got everything right all the time, I'd just be Matt Pat, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but still, you know what I mean. Sometimes it's nice to be wrong and be surprised. Thank you, Blazing Fire. I appreciate that. I don't feel like I look well at the moment because I'm tired. I've been working quite a lot, and I haven't been able to hit the gym as much as I'd like to. But I really appreciate the kind words, my brother. Very nice of you. It's great to see you here, mate. I haven't seen you in for a while. How are you keeping? Also, Blazing Fire, if you're still around, did you get flooded recently with the storm? Because I know you live relatively close to me, at least closer than most of the guys in the chat do at the moment. And my town was practically underwater, so I don't know what yours was like, but it was pretty dangerous here. Not a fan of the loop theory. I am and I aren't. Like, I can make it work. I'm interested in it enough, and I could accept it if it was true. But I like the idea of things continuously changing in the nowhere. Well, the concept of an inescapable loop is daunting. It doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room for expansion. Somebody said earlier on that there is it was Artbox. Artbox said that the nowhere being so ambiguous and up to interpretation leaves a lot of room for expansion in the universe. The loop theory doesn't. Loop theory kind of denies any expansion because it's like, you know, what happens to Mono after the signal tower? Nothing. You know, where does he go? Nowhere. What would you do with him in the next game? You know, if you write a fan fiction about him, what would you include? And you can't. It restricts you on expanding on this character's lore because you know the character's lore. He starts here, he ends here, and then he starts again. And it constantly cycles. And if you deviate from that path at all, you are no longer canon. So your theory or your story or your DLC, it no longer makes sense. Whereas if loop theory isn't a thing, you can do what you want with it and still have fun. So that's the only thing that I don't really like. I like the idea of the loop being like a residual recurring nightmare, and it's represented like that, and that is really cool, and I like that. But the fact that it's inescapable restricts you a little bit on how far you can theorize about this universe. I feel like the expansion of the nowhere is a positive in a way forwards, because the Sounds of Nightmares, that was an expansion of the nowhere. Little Nightmares 3 is an expansion of the nowhere. Something I noticed about the mannequins that I really liked is that it could be like young children seeing clothing in their room, but yeah. Has a I had this just the other day. I hung a coat up because it was raining. It's been raining here. It's lovely today. Like, today was a wonderful day. But we've recently had like quite a dangerous storm with a lot of flooding and a lot of heavy wind. And I had to go to the store to buy food. So I'm like, oh no, I have to go out, unfortunately. So I put my coat on and I trudged to the store and I went to the gym and I worked out and I walked home in the rain. By the time I got back, I was drenched. So I just slung my coat over the door, left it there, closed the door over, and I went and laid in bed and like laid down for a nap because I was exhausted and I didn't feel good. Took a nap for about an hour, and then I woke up. By the time I woke up, it was dark. And when I woke up in the dark, the only light in the room was coming from the crack in the door. And I was like, why did I leave that door open? And then I seen the arm hanging down the side of it, and it looked like this, like the arm hanging down the door frame like that in the pitch black in the darkness. And I panicked. I sort of sat up. I was like, whoa! Like, I got straight into fight mode because I thought there was someone standing in my doorway, but it was just my jacket. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've just fallen for that. I'm a grown man and I fell for that stupid friggin' clothes in the darkness trick. But yeah, absolutely. That's what the mannequins could represent. 100%. That's really cool. The same kind of concept occurs at the end of Little Nightmares 1 with the lady, when you're running through the lady's quarters and there's mannequins everywhere, and you're looking at all of the dresses and you're like, which one's gonna move? I know one of them's gonna move, and you just know one's gonna move, but you can't tell which, and it's a bit petrifying. And the same thing, like if you're walking through a house and all you can see is shadows. Yeah, is that a person? Is that a monster? Is that something I need to worry about? And no, it's just clothing. it's nothing. What are we saying? Hey, no worries, Skeleton. You're all right. You take your time. I understand. People have got better things to do than like sit here and listen to me gasbag all night. It's totally cool. You guys don't have to apologize if you have to go or if you have to duck out for a little bit. If you have to dip, you dip. That's fine. I never take offense when people have to duck out of streams. I love watching streams. Like, there's a couple of streamers that I particularly enjoy watching, but they'll stream for 2 hours at a time, and I don't normally have 2 hours to myself. I have to work. Yeah, I've got research to do. I've got to go to the gym. I've got my folks that need me to look after them sometimes, even though they look after me. But yeah, so don't feel like you guys need to apologize to me if you have to go for any reason. It's absolutely fine. I understand that people can't just be here the whole time I am. Six and Mono, hello there. I'm sorry it took so long to get to your message, by the way. Hello. And thank you for your kind words as well. I saw your message come up earlier on, but I didn't want to stop what I was saying to the other person and disrespect them. But yeah, hello there and welcome. Good old hey, Detective Fallen. Brother Fallen, how are you? I am having a good day. It's been a very nice Sunday. It's a cheat day, so I went out, I bought cake. Look, I got cakes. I went to my mum and dad's house and I had some dinner. I got cake. I got Coke. I had a really nice workout, like a really nice, gentle workout today. Sauna, jacuzzi. And now I'm here chilling with the guys. I'm right here with the Boom Squad, and we're all having a nice conversation about Little Nightmares. So yeah, I'm having a fantastic day, Detective. How are you? Clamori, my prediction for the orders of chapters. Chapter 1, Necropolis, confirmed. Is it confirmed now, officially? Interesting. 2, the Candy Factory, early to mid-game. 3, the Carnival, late game. Do you think there'll be any other areas, or do you think they're just going to stick to the 3 that we recognise? Because that does make sense, Clamori. I just wonder if that might be a little bit short. Saying that, though, we only had 4 areas in Little Nightmares 2. We had Wilderness, School, Hospital, and then the Pale City. And then the Signal Tower, if you count that as well. I know that's kind of like, it's part of the Pale City, but it was long enough to sort of be established as an area on its own. So I feel like we could get more than that, but so far, that sounds accurate. For some reason in my head, the Candy Factory was like the last area, but I don't think it will be now. I think it's just because the first time I ever saw the trailer, like the announcement trailer at Gamescom, the Candy Factory was the last thing you got to see. So like as they closed and you know, as they closed to title screen, that was the last thing you saw was the Candy Factory's crane opening and dropping all of the sweets and lollipops. Look at all the members in the building. That's fantastic. Hey, Jem, who's your favourite character in Little Nightmares? My favourite... Okay, so my favourite character is Six. It's always been Six. Six is my girl. She's like... She's kind of like me. Because she's like a little bit damaged. And she's a fucking psychopath. But she has her reasons. I like Six. I think she's got a great character, a great story, a great concept, a great design. I like Six a lot. My favourite enemy is the teacher. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, the teacher. I love the idea of the monster baby. Yes, Snowfall, the monster baby does look like an awesome concept. I really like it, and I bet it's really daunting. Like, I'm excited to run from it. Like, I'm excited to have to like duck and dive and play cat and mouse and sort of keep out of the way of its gaze. Because I really like the idea of that in the first game, where the eyeballs follow you. You know, the petrifying eyes that turn you to stone. I really like the idea of them. They were a lot of fun. So having one of them that literally gets up and follows you around is, yeah, it's really daunting. The monster baby's design I don't find particularly frightening, but that's just me. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier about everyone having their own interpretation of Little Nightmares. So where I don't... Oh, yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Snowfall. It's megalophobia. Megalophobia is the fear of enormous things. Yes, megalophobia, not titanophobia. Yes, thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that, because that was bothering me. I knew titanophobia wasn't quite right. But yes. Oh, sorry. It's gone. Oh, Jesus truth, more evidence of why Gemini was the lollipop kid. Oh, Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, megalophobia. Yeah, Winter is right as well. Kinda. Megalophobia, but yes. I said titanophobia, so I was miles off. Gemini school was in a nowhere. Yeah, you know what? I actually see that. Because the thing is, I had a teacher who I've referenced a couple of times in these videos. She was called Mrs. Gravestock. And she was basically the teacher. She had the same hairstyle. She wore the same clothes. She was old and creepy, and she had like a scary fixed expression all the time. She used to carry around a big wooden stick that she used to whack you with if you didn't behave. I think the only difference between Mrs. Gravestock, who was my awful teacher, and the teacher from Little Nightmares was that Mrs. Gravestock wore glasses most of the time. So, yeah. Yeah, so, yep, you guys are absolutely right. Megalophobia. I'm just laughing at all of the emojis. Like, I put together these emojis. So for those of you guys that are members, you'll be able to see that you've got a bunch of like random special edition emojis and things like that. And I just put them together for a bit of fun. I thought they were a laugh. I am going to make some more of those. I'm going to be changing up a few things with regard to memberships because as the membership program becomes more and more popular, I'm going to start doing more and more things like in regard of giveaways and like giving back to the community, basically. So with me having so many members, it really helps for me to to give back. So I can invest the money that you guys get, and it goes to what I consider good causes, which at the moment is helping my mum. But generally, when you guys make donations and pay for memberships and things like that, or do super chats or anything, or super stickers, all of that money tends to go back into building the channel and giving back, doing giveaways, buying special prizes, doing like making content as well, because obviously I need to pay people to help me with my content because I'm not capable of doing everything by myself. Artists being a number one, which is another thing. If you guys haven't already voted on the poll above, please do so, because I'd really like to do an episode based around everybody's artwork. And if you guys want your work featured in an upcoming video, it doesn't even have to be good, because I'm going to be complimenting it anyway, because I can see value in everything. But yeah, I am going to be discussing artwork, because if you guys are interested and I put the video out and it goes down well, then I might even do like artwork competitions. So I might do one where it's like I'll pick my favourite fan art or something like that, and I'll give you guys something to draw. So I'll be like, right, I want all of the artists in the chat, I want you to all draw a picture of 6 eating a gnome, right? So draw a picture of 6 eating a gnome, send it to me on Discord, and then I'll pick my favourite one, and whichever one I pick will receive a prize or something like that, and I'll give you guys something nice. But it's just something that I'm thinking about doing to fill in the gap and just have a bit of fun. And because I know so many of you are artists, and I love to see your artwork, I thought that was a good way to build, express yourselves creatively, and it's a good way for me to enjoy your company and create some content around it as well. So I feel like everyone wins. Mr. Kipling, yeah, I know, Mr. Kipling, exceedingly good cakes. Who's your favourite child character in Little Nightmares? 6. 6 is my favourite child character. She's awesome. Just going off what Sean, there's more. It's been confirmed that there's more than 5 chapters. Has it, Snowfall? Where did they confirm that? Was that on Twitter? I thought it was confirmed that there was 4 chapters, or 4+ chapters. So it could be 5, but it might be more. I'm not sure. If there's a candy factory, maybe there is a candy store. That could be one of the chapters. You know what? I thought that. Idiotic bookworm. Yvette got a... everybody, say hi to my mum. Hi, Mum. Yvette Goddard is Mama Gemini. That's my mum. If you guys get a second, like it's probably taken her forever to get on, and she won't reply to you because she types with one finger. It takes forever. But my mum's popped in to say hello, Ma. I hope you're all right. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, saying hello to me. Hello to everyone, saying hello to my audience. Yeah, Yvette is Mama Gemini. That's my mum. She was. I went and had dinner at her house earlier on. It was lovely. Hello, Mama Gemini. Hey. Sorry, idiotic bookworm. I lost where I was for a second there, but I have to say hello to my mum. My mum was the one person I will drop anything for. Like I would drop this stream if my mum called me now and said come. This stream would end immediately. I wouldn't even say bye. It would just bam. That's not me disrespecting you guys. It's because like I love my mum on anything. So that's why. Anyway, yeah, sorry, idiotic bookworm. I was saying I considered this earlier on in my career as a Little Nightmares theorist, because when you see the trailer, you see Lowen Alone going through a mirror, and scattered around the ground is a couple of boxes with lollipop pictures on them, like pictures of the spiral, and stickers of like colourful lollipops and things like that. But there's also packaging. There's packaging in areas that's like pink and white striped packaging, which is kind of synonymous and representative of the way they used to package and display candy in sweet shops and candy shops in Britain in the 1960s. And I've got some pictures of that I took in a museum when I was doing research for the Candyland theory, because like yourself, I suspected that the candy factory would have a candy shop, but I didn't know where the shop would be. I didn't know if there would be a candy shop at the beginning of the candy factory. So I don't know if Lowen Alone are going to go into the candy store, then work their way into the back and find the factory that produces the candy behind it, or if we were going to start in the candy factory and end up in the candy shop, and travel through a mirror, and maybe that was how they were. Maybe that's how they were transferring the candy from the factory to the store, was through a particular mirror or something like that, or even just through a doorway or a room or a system of some description. But yeah, I just saw your Little Nightmares 3 reaction. I feel your pain. You had to be quiet when you found out when I was in Texas. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but yeah. Only around 20 people watch it. Hey, 20 people's plenty for me. It's absolutely fine. I was, because another thing is, I didn't really advertise or market this stream. I didn't make like a big deal out of it because it's not a special stream. It's a random stream. This is just me like just shooting the breeze, talking some rubbish, having a chat with you guys and everything. And it's all good, but there's nothing special about today. It's not a charity event. We're not doing a giveaway. There's nothing particularly special. There's been no new announcements, or there isn't anything particular to discuss. It's just my way of keeping up with those of you guys that like to be here and communicate with me. So yeah, there's not as many people in today as there normally is, but that's fine. It means I'm actually able to keep up with the chat for a little bit. But you will want to hit the notification bell and tune in October, because the Halloween live stream, that is going to be a special one, and there is going to be a giveaway. Yes. Hi, Mama Gemini. Yeah, hello everyone. Yes. It's lovely. I'm so glad that you guys are kind of respectful to my mum, because my mum is such a lovely person. She's really nice and sweet and kind and friendly, and she doesn't get enough respect. The world hasn't been very nice to my mum, and I feel like it should. Mama, if you can't see these comments, by the way, there's a lot of people saying hello. People saying that you that I've got a cool mum. And that you've done a great job. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys being nice to my mum, because she deserves it. How's it? Not sure if you saw my earlier theory about the signal tower, but maybe it's twisted mono due to him being the only inhabitant and the Thin Man being dead. Yeah, so that is true, Hazard. There is a theory going around that Mono doesn't become the Thin Man, he just becomes a Thin Man. and he's just manipulated by the tower, and it sort of like bends him to its will and forces him to become its representative. So it might not be that he becomes the Thin Man that we see, you know, in the one that chased us and the one he defeated. Might not have actually been him. It might just be its own interpretation of its nucleus, kind of thing. So yeah, that's absolutely a possibility, but we don't know anything just yet. I don't think we ever will. But again, it's open to interpretation, and I'm glad you pointed it out as well, Hazza, because it is something that some people have considered, and myself included. I do think that it's a possibility, but again, we don't have anything confirmed, do we? I'm actually skipping school because my mum is getting home from holiday tomorrow and she's really struggled because she has MS and nobody really supported her. Honestly, great to see you. But see, that's really good of you, Snowfall, because I get that you're skipping school and that's like, yeah, you know, that it is what it is. I skipped a lot of school as well. It was a terrible idea, but if the choice was skipping school and taking care of my mum, then I'd be taking care of my mum. You are absolutely doing the right thing by taking care of somebody who has MS, because MS isn't a joke. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not, it's debilitating, and I see it as a thief in the night, something that comes and seizes control of your body. The same as any debilitating disease. It sucks. I believe in a fair fight. I like a fair fight, and I'm game. Like, I'll fight anybody for any reason. If you give me a good enough reason, I'll fight anyone. I'll fight anything, as long as I've got a good reason to do so. But when it comes to things like cancer and MS and dementia and debilitating diseases and stuff like that, it sucks because there isn't a cure. There isn't a fair fight. It's not something that you can stand against and just be like, right, this is how we beat it. There isn't a systematic approach. It's not a fair fight. It just invades your body like a thief in the night, and it steals away everything that makes you human. And it sucks, and I hate it. So yeah, massive props to you for taking care of your mum, and I do hope that she recovers, or at least finds a way to manage her MS in a comfortable way so that she can live her best life. I do. I wish her all the comfort in the world, buddy. Never mind, I failed. Six's body looks disgusting. I have to restart it. Hey, geez, the truth, it's all good. It's just a means so that you guys can get creative and have some fun and things like that, and so that I can see some of your artworks and everything as well. It's going to be fun. Like because the thing is, I'm going to share my drawings too. When I make this video celebrating the artists of the Little Nightmares community, I'm going to share my artwork. And it's not good. I like it. I'm really proud of what I've managed to draw and things like that. But there's a reason I have to employ artists to help me make my videos, because my art is not up to par. And if I put my artwork in my videos, people would laugh. So, but that's fine. I welcome that, because I can draw a picture. I'll try my best, and I'll be like, this is what I did. This is what was in my mind. And I would try. But yeah. So if you guys are prepared to share your artwork with me, then I will absolutely show my artwork to you. And if you laugh at it, you laugh at it. But I tried my best. A lot of love for Gemini's mama. I don't know, but I feel like chapter the Candy Factory is weird because the factory is a building. Maybe it's in a city, maybe it's in a remote forest-like area. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because we're like, where do we see? Like, where would we enter the Candy Factory from? That's what makes me think. So here, where I live, we have candy stores in the town, and then we have a candy factory on the outskirts in the industrial estate on the outskirts of town. But you have to drive to get there. It's not something where you can just like walk down the street and parade into the candy factory. You'd have to drive or get a bus. You'd have to travel by road to get there, because it's not a commercial place where you can just walk in and buy sweets. Their entire job is to be a warehouse, storage area and factory for the processing and development of sweets and hard candies that they then ship to the stores in the town via buses and cars and trucks and transport and such. So I think if we do see the candy factory in the game, it's going to be somewhere that we teleport to. I think that we're going to go through a mirror in one place and end up in the factory. But I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to where we came from. So if we go from the necropolis straight to the candy factory, I don't think they'll be even remotely close to each other. I think that, like, unlike when Mono travels through TVs and he just goes to, like, the nearest one, so, like, you know, TV to TV to TV, he's always going from one room to the other, isn't he? Always to the next nearest television, rather than going from one all the way to the other. Because otherwise he could just turn around in the wilderness, turn on that TV, go through it, and end up at the signal tower. You know, he could end up in the Pale City without going through all the rest of the hoopla. Whereas Lo seems to be able to travel great distances when he goes through the mirrors. At least that's the impression I got. I might be wrong, but yeah, I think that the Candy Factory is going to be set really far apart from anywhere else that we explore. Jem, is the Halloween stream on Halloween directly? I haven't decided yet, Snowfall, because while I do tend to stream on Halloween the day itself, I've considered streaming the day before, or a couple of days before. Maybe like on the nearest Saturday. So like if I just have a look at when Halloween falls. So Halloween is on a Thursday. So my Halloween live stream might actually be on Saturday the 26th of October. That's the date I've sort of got penciled in at the moment, the 26th. Just because... what was I going to say? Just because streaming on the day might be problematic for a lot of people that want to watch the stream. There's people that would want to be here, but they can't because they're out trick-or-treating, or they go out to parties. A lot of people go to parties on Halloween and have events. It's a festivity, isn't it? And that's fine. That's totally cool, because that's what you're supposed to do with Halloween. I love Halloween. I love celebrating Halloween. I like getting the decorations and dressing up and being a dork and, you know, eating loads of sweets and candy and like giving it to the people who come to see me and things like that. And that's all good. So I think it'll probably this time be earlier. Usually it's on Halloween itself, and it might still be this year depending on how close I am to finishing certain projects and how long it takes other people who are working on them with me to fulfill their end of the bargain and stuff like that. But it's most likely to be the closest Saturday. So Saturday the 26th is most likely, I think. Hi, Mama Gem. I think we could kill a 6-armed lady by luring her into a machine and then turning her into candy. Yeah, that'd be nice. And then you eat her. That'd be dope. President Nixon once said my mother is a saint. Yeah, and he was probably right. If his mother was anything like mine, then yeah. Six is back. Hello, Six. Mr. Unknown, can Otto be the Doctor from Little Nightmares 2? He could be. I doubt it, just because the synchronicity doesn't seem to line up quite right. There's just some significant differences I've found when I was listening to the Sounds of Nightmares between the Doctor and the concept of Otto the Counselor. I do think they're separate characters, but it does stand to reason that they would be the same, or at least related in some way. But I don't think he is. He could be. He absolutely could be. And until it's confirmed, we can't say for definite. But I don't think he is. Cheese of Truth. I have an old Monster 6 drawing. Does it still count? What's your Insta so I can say? I don't use Instagram, Cheese of Truth. It's going to be... I haven't set this up yet, don't worry. It's not like a competition or anything that I've already set up. The poll is just there to see if it would be a good idea. But it looks like it is, because so far, like... more than half of you, and there's how many votes? So there's 80 votes on there at the moment, and over half of them say yes. So that means that at least 40 people would be interested in having their artwork or seeing artwork celebrated on the channel. So yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that picture of Monster 6, that absolutely counts. If you do send me anything, send it on Discord. I would probably, for the moment, say... send it on the Little Nightmares official Discord that's run by It's Just Jord, and pop it in the artwork section and tag me. Just put @Gemini. And I will see it because I check it every day, and I'll go through those and have a look at it there. But right now there isn't there is no competition in the works at the moment. The poll is just there to see whether or not it'd be a good idea. It looks like it will be, but I haven't ironed out the details yet. But if you're subscribed, ring the notification bell because I'll put a community post out about it when I set it up, and I'll give you exact instructions on what to draw, where to send it, how to contact me regarding it and things like that, just to make sure you're definitely involved in the video. So leave it with me for now. Don't worry too much about it because nothing's set in stone, and if it is, when it does get established, it still won't be happening until October anyway, so you've got plenty of time. Don't worry, don't rush. You can't rush art, as they say. Random question: what is your favourite Netflix show or TV show? Rick and Morty. Yeah, I love Rick and Morty, and if I ever get time to watch Netflix, which is never, but it'd be Rick and Morty. I absolutely love Rick and Morty. It's fantastic. It seems like they enter through mirrors. It does, Clamori. I thought that. Gemini, recently got my yellow belt in karate. Excellent job. Hey, that's brilliant. Cheese of truth, that's something that you should be really proud of. I love martial arts. I've got 2 black belts. I've got a black belt in Shotokan Karate, second dan, and I'm a second dan in kickboxing. And my black belt is awesome. I've actually got it in the next room. I'd show you guys if you wanted to see it. I don't know, because it's got my real name embezzled on it. But yeah, I love martial arts, and it's something that is fantastic for building your confidence, your self-esteem, for your physique. It's just a good all-rounder. So for you to have got a yellow belt means that you've been working at it for a good while. Obviously shows that you're dedicated. How are you finding it? Are you enjoying martial arts? Because martial arts is something that can build your perseverance, your tolerance, just so many things. I can't talk, in enough at enough length. I can't big up martial arts up enough. I feel like everybody in the world should have an experience in martial arts at one point or another. It's not for everyone, I completely understand that, but I feel like everybody can learn something from martial arts, regardless of which one you choose, whether it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Shaolin Kung Fu, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, mixed martial arts of any description, wrestling, Muay Thai. Whatever you decide, whatever floats your boat, I think martial arts has always got a place in your life. It's brilliant. So well done. Well done. Hello, Vikinky. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can make it. Hi. That's great for my schedule. I'm glad, Snowfall. Just in case, maybe she dies from getting her arms grinded towards the end of the chapter. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that she kind of gets twisted up, because I feel like she's always going to be a threat, because having so many arms, because this is the thing, she's got 6 arms that we can see. What's under the dress? I know. I don't want to think about it either. But I've got 2 things in my mind that I kind of don't want to think about, but I'm going to discuss them. What if under the dress she's got one of 2 things? She's either got spider legs, or she's got more hands. What if she's got more arms as legs? So what if she's got like 2 more pairs of arms? So she's got 6 arms on the top, but then she's got 4 more arms under the dress. So when she's walking along, it's like that. And that's why if you look at the ground in her office and around the candy factory, you can see what looks like drag marks. It looks like someone's been pulled along the floor and have left like long drag marks on the ground. I recognised that in my last video, in my last live stream, when I was watching the trailer and going through the screenshots and everything, and I thought, wouldn't it be horrible if she had hands under the dress? And that's why it looks like there's drag marks and fingers. What if that's true? Like, what if she has hands under the dress? I don't want to know what's under her dress, but that's probably what it is. And both of those thoughts are mortifying. Excellent. Snowfall. Gemini, what about me? I'm locked out of that server. Snowfall, I'd probably join FipsyB2's server. Because if you're locked out of that server, join FipsyB2's, because I'm on FipsyB2's server as well. So join his server if you're not already there. Put your artwork there and tag me. I will see it, because I'm a part of Fipsy's server and I check it out regularly. If worst comes to worst, and you guys absolutely can't, you can't get it on Discord, you can't access me on Discord, you're not a member of any of the, you just don't use Discord, full stop, and there's no other way to do it. If you click on my channel, like on my channel page, on the About page, I've got an email address, and that is my business email, and it's for the channel. I do check it regularly, and if you guys absolutely have to, feel free to send your artwork to me via email, and I will receive it and I will recognize it. If you guys can't get me on Discord or any other way, just use that email address. It's always on my page there, and it's open to the public. It's there so that people who need to contact me can do. So if people need to reach out to me with regards to like video ideas or collaborations or ad revenue or anything like that, it's there so that anyone can contact me in a way that I'm not giving away any personal information. So yeah, if you need to, just email it to me if you've got no other way. You look like a David or Anthony. Some valid guesses, and weirdly enough, two of my closest friends in real life are both called David. Well, it's Dave. He doesn't like David. And Anthony, but my Anthony's spelled with an E at the end, so Antone. But yeah, funny that. Strange that you would pick those two names, and like my two best friends in the whole world are Dave and Anthony. I love karate. It distracts me from some stuff my family is going through, and I really enjoy. Yeah, absolutely. It can be a fantastic distraction, and it's also a good way to discipline your mind, and to help you take a step back and recognize everything from a different perspective. Sometimes I believe that you can garner a lot of respect by being in a martial arts environment, even if you're not actively fighting. Because I used to fight, I would actively fight in the cage and things like that, and train for like competition level fights and stuff, and it was great. And there were some times where I would really dislike a person. I can't stand that guy. He's, there's words that I would call him that I can't really say here because YouTube and guidelines and just being nice in general. But there were some times where I would get into the ring and I really want to hurt someone. I'd get in there with every intention of putting them in a hospital. And then by the time the fight ends, you have a lot more respect for that person because you can see the humanity and the emotion behind them. And then the sportsmanship kicks in. Next thing you know, you're buying them drinks, you're having coffee, they're having dinner at your house like one of them did about 3 weeks ago. I fought with a guy about 8 years ago. I fought with a guy. We were scrapping, we were in the ring, and I punched him, I broke his nose, he bust my lip and he split my lip open here and he cracked this tooth and that's why it looks like that. See? Smashed me in the tooth like that, so he bust my jaw, I bust his nose, we made a real mess of each other, and I hated the guy and he hated me. But after that fight we gained some respect, and I took him for coffee and I was like, oh, you're a really good fighter, but why are you such a dick? And he explained that he was going through a lot of stuff and he uses martial arts as a means to blow off some steam. So he didn't want to appear angry, but it just made sense for him to blow off some steam in a controlled environment where he's supposed to be angry and violent, but in a controlled manner that benefits him in the long term. And that was the same reason I got into it. My dad said to me that if I wanted to fight, if I insisted on being violent and loud and obnoxious, then I can do it in a controlled environment where I'm safe and calculated and supervised and everything. So I can utilize my negative emotions, but channel them in a positive manner. And I recommend that everyone do that today. It's another reason why I'm so such an advocate for martial arts in general, because I have severe anger issues, really serious, dangerous anger problems. And the only way I've been able to like navigate them and negotiate my emotions in a way that's kept me out of prison for the last like 10 years is through martial arts and the disciplines that I learned therein. It's fantastic. Honestly, it is. It's brilliant. In every sense of the word, it's great. Yeah, Swerve, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can make it. I haven't seen you for a while, my dude. I noticed you've been playing Cuphead recently, though, Swerve. That's a challenge and a half. I love Cuphead. I love Cuphead. And I'm actually quite good at it now. I'm quite good at it. Like, I can do 0 deaths on Expert, so I can play the whole game on Expert without dying now. I don't know if I can do it like right here, right now. If I tried, I'd probably have to warm up and practice for a bit. But I've done it before live on stream, and it still exists on the channel. If anyone doesn't believe me, it's there. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Love Cuphead. So best of luck, because I know that you're playing it on Expert at the moment, and it's not an easy challenge, but it's definitely worth it. Oh, Hazza, yeah, that's a haunting scene. Around being mashed up into candy behind a mirror. Cinema. yeah. Mirror. No, window. I knew what you meant. Damn, bro. I know. Facts, it's mad. I recently joined my wrestling varsity team. Can't but agree that everyone should do it. Yeah, exactly, Bookworm, exactly. And I don't think it necessarily matters what martial art you do. Like, whether it's wrestling, kickboxing, Shaolin, karate, kung fu, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you learn from it and how you learn to manipulate your body and your emotions and get in tune with yourself. Even just the confidence. Martial arts gave me the confidence I need to talk publicly. Before martial arts, I could not speak in a public setting. If a teacher said to me, go up to the front of the class and read what you've written, I could not do it. If they said, go up and write something on the whiteboard, I could not do it. I couldn't even read a passage in a book from my table. I used to get like serious anxiety and I'd go into like a mad panic and I'd have to leave the room and I'd get really aggressive and uncomfortable because I just couldn't talk in front of people. And through martial arts, I learned to build my confidence and how to carry myself, how to articulate. And although I do talk it's got to a point now where I feel like I'm catching up. You know, I've spent like so long being quiet that now I never shut up. now making me be quiet is the hard part. But getting me talking, I've been talking non-stop for 2 hours. And, you know, I barely took a breath. You know, I've been talking so fluidly and quickly without blinking that I haven't finished my beverage. I'm only halfway down it, even though I've been consistently drinking it to stay hydrated. No worries, Altac. You have a good evening. It's been great having you to stop by. Geez, Drem, control your emotions, stay out of prison. You're like Dexter. Yeah. What's that supposed to mean? Thank you? Question mark. I've never watched Dexter. I know what it is and I know what you mean. I get the reference, but I don't know Dexter as a character. I hope he's really intelligent and handsome and extremely cool and a famous YouTuber and really rich. But if he's not, that's cool too. Yes. Hey Gemini, just wanted to say thanks for being there for me. Thanks for Positive Little Nightmares videos. I try to donate sometimes. Hey, Lone Alone, I really appreciate you. Like, thank you so much for being here. You guys are the foundation of this channel. Like, I thank my viewers all the time. And, excuse me. And the reason I try to give back and do so many giveaways and nice events and things like that and spread a bit of positivity is because I recognise that you guys are the foundation for this. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if nobody was watching. Can you imagine me talking and gasbagging for 2 solid hours without taking a breath with 0 viewers? Because I've done it. I've done it when I first started doing YouTube. If you guys look at some of my earliest videos, there was barely anybody in chat. My videos would hardly get any views, hardly any comments, nobody liked what I was doing, and I used to think that I was kind of unlikable. I was like, what am I doing wrong? So the fact that you guys are prepared to sit here and have these discussions with me, it lets me know that I'm having a positive influence on you, and that's all I want to do. I'm not doing YouTube, and I appreciate like the fact that you say when you've got money you send it to me and you make donations. I love that. I love the fact that you guys feel that you appreciate me and what I do enough to support me on a monetary level by making your donations, by joining the membership program, by giving off super chats and super thanks and gifts and things like that. I love and appreciate each and every one of you for that, but that's not the point of it. I do this because I want to spread some positivity and I want to bring together a good community with a non-toxic aspect. And I get that in a franchise, particularly one with a cult following like Little Nightmares, it is really difficult to avoid conflict. But I strive for that. And that's why I value you guys so much. You don't have to thank me for doing what I do, because if it wasn't for people like yourself, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I own the Cuphead Platinum Trophy. It's the proudest achievement I've ever had in gaming. It was so difficult but so rewarding, and Cuphead is such a good... Yeah, Ghoul Games, it was one of the most challenging games I've ever played. A lot of people say that Dark Souls is like, you know, Dark Souls are notoriously hard games. The Souls franchise, Souls-like games, Elden Ring and stuff like that. But everyone that I know that's played both Dark Souls and Cuphead, they all say Cuphead's harder. And I've never played Dark Souls. I've learned a lot about Dark Souls, having recently worked on a project involving Dark Souls 2. And that was cool, and I've learned a lot, and I've gained a new appreciation for the franchise and for Souls games in general. But I still maintain that Cuphead is a harder game. And the challenges on Cuphead are ridiculous. That Platinum is stupidly hard to get. And the weird thing is, they watered that down. There are challenges that you can do outside of that, like the pea shooter only challenge, like doing pea shooter only, doing 0 deaths, doing no shop challenge. There's a bunch of different ways that you can make Cuphead harder. Not that you'd ever want to, unless you're a complete head case like me. But a fantastic achievement. It's great to know that you have the commitment to do something like that, because Cuphead is not a joke. It's insanely hard, but a very, very good game. Did you play the DLC with Miss Chalice? Because I did, and I thought it was great. There was this one kid who was a sexual definition. He kicked me in the private parts, and I thought I hit him with a javelin. Nice. Now, if they hit you first, fight back. I'm all for that. Cluster. Have you seen the leak of the secretary? She's horrifying in the chase scenes. I have, Cluster. I have, and yeah, I couldn't agree more. She's freakish. Again, I'm not going to be covering her in this. I'll talk about her. Absolutely, because we already know she exists, but I won't be showing the footage or sharing the footage or screenshots or anything like that, just because you know it was a leak and it wasn't intended. I don't want to upset the devs or anything like that. I'd rather keep things chugging along as linearly as I possibly can with regard to what's been officially released by the game developers. But yes, I have seen it, and yes, she is absolutely horrifying. I am desperately afraid of that woman. But I can't wait at the same time. I'm really excited. I think she's the boss I'm the most excited to see out of all of them so far, even though we only know about 2 technically. Oh well, 3 if you include the mirror monster, whatever that might be. I want to know advanced jujitsu like Dexter and wrestling ninjutsu, Bazwan, and like a semi-Batman. Yeah, see, well, that's cool, because when I first started doing Shotokan karate, the martial arts studio that I went to taught like 5 different martial arts all in the same school. So they taught like Shotokan karate, Kyokushin karate, kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, And then there was what they called the Masters class, which was weapons. So they taught like sais, nunchakus, bow staff, sword. They would train weapons training. And I joined all of those programs because in my head, I wanted to be a black belt in everything. Turns out that's really hard and it takes forever. Like getting I've got 2 black belts. I'm a second dan in both martial arts, and they took me upwards of 10 years to get. So if I wanted to get black belts in 5 different martial arts, I'd be about 50 years old before I got that. A lot of people are able to achieve stuff like that, and a lot of people, I do believe in practicing all martial arts, don't get me wrong. I've practiced ninjutsu, I've practiced Shaolin Kung Fu, I've practiced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I've practiced wrestling, I practice all of them to a degree, but I've only got black belts. I'm only proficient in 2, because they were the ones that I found worked the best for me. But they were lacking in certain areas. Like, while I was great stand-up fighting, which Shotokan Karate gave me a great, like, stand-up game, like grappling, jabbing, keeping distance, stances, and sinking weight, and body control. And kickboxing let me be aggressive, throw a lot of punches, learn how to defend myself properly, learn how to move and keep off the line, my footwork, and how to do a lot of damage standing up. But neither of those covered fighting on the ground particularly well. So I started doing wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they are predominantly ground-based martial arts, and I loved them. And I thought that they were really helpful when it came to evolving my fighting style. I feel like Mono and Alone would get along. Yeah, so do I, weirdly enough. At least I don't feel like she'd end up betraying him. Don't worry, Jem. Dexter has looks maxing edits on TikTok. He's so intelligent that it feels like plot armor. Well, I appreciate the comparison, Winter. Well, I don't feel like I hold a candle to the dude now, but at the same time, thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say. I feel lucky to have you as a YouTuber. I found your channel the same day you made the first speculative DLC with the Squiddy Gamer account. I binged your theories and it's so nice that it shares a little Nightmares parody. Yeah, thank you, Hazza. I really appreciate that. And it's really nice to have people like yourself that share this passion because, again, like I said earlier on, it's people like you that make this channel possible. What I do would not exist if people weren't passionate about it. If you guys didn't give a crap about Little Nightmares, then my deep diving theory videos and speculative DLCs and my thoughts and theories and readings and all the rest of it, it would all mean squat, wouldn't it? It'd be completely pointless. There would be no motivation to create this content because nobody would care about it. But the fact that you guys are prepared to come in here and share your opinions and speculations and your thoughts, your theories, and just your passion, just to ask questions and be here and have these conversations at length, that is the interest for me. Like, that's passion for me. That's what I love about this franchise is, well, I love everything about this franchise, but the thing I love about what I do as a YouTuber is the community aspect. The fact that we all share this passion and we can all enjoy this together. That's what I enjoy about it. 100% of the DLC too. It's really good. The Chef Boss on Expert was about a bit of that. Honestly, Chef Saltbaker on Expert is so ridiculously unfair. It's like not even remotely close. There is nothing even remotely close in the rest of the game. I could walk the rest of the game. Like I said, I played... so I did a challenge where I did 0 deaths. So I played the entire game on Expert and I beat every single boss back to back without dying. And I've never, ever in my life had my heart in my throat as much as when I was fighting Chef Saltbaker on Expert. It made me physically sick. It's horrible. Trust me, bro. I get you. It's dank. Gemini, have you played Slay the Princess yet? No, I can't say I have, Bookworm. What's that? Obviously, it's a game, but what's it about? Is it about slaying a princess by any chance? I like that Gem's like an indie YouTuber. That's actually what I like. Yeah, see, weirdly, some of the YouTubers that I like grew up watching, or the ones that I was most passionate about, was like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie. And when I started watching them, and the thing that really got me into them was they were big on exposing indie developers. So people who create an indie video game. like Little Nightmares was, actually, like Five Nights at Freddy's, like Poppy Playtime, like Curse of Blackwater, like Amnesia, games like that. They were all brought to light by YouTubers. So, like, if Scott Cawthon, for instance, brought out Five Nights at Freddy's and he put it online, it might have sold 1,000 copies. But the fact that Markiplier, Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie and everybody played it, and they had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people watching them, that boosted the popularity of these franchises, and it really helped boost these developers and these creators into the like giants that they are today. These days, everyone knows what FNAF is. Everyone. It has a feature-length movie, it has dozens of games, it has lore, it has books, it has everything. And I think that's all built off the back of exposition granted by YouTubers. And I'm not saying that, you know, Scott Cawthon owes all of his success in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise to YouTubers like me, because he absolutely doesn't. But I do feel like it would be really idiotic, if anything. Sorry, quote idiotic bookworm. But it would just be dumb to not recognise the value of recognition on YouTube, because YouTube, for a large part, is keeping Little Nightmares alive, isn't it? You know, for the last year, where have you gone? Like, all of you guys right now, have a think about it. Where have you gone to receive Little Nightmares content? You know, to discuss the lore, to think about it, to learn and develop and to explore it. You've either gone to YouTube or Reddit or most likely Twitter. You know, so having people that create this kind of content is really good filler material in between games. I feel, anyway. Alex the Frog, we're talking about FNAF because somebody brought up that they like that I'm kind of like an indie game YouTuber. And I know I only cover like the one game necessarily, but when I started doing YouTube, I was inspired to do so by Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and they, when I discovered them at least, were playing predominantly indie games. And that's what I liked about them. The fact that it was like YouTubers and indie developers coming together to boost each other up and to build exposition and help to grow each other's businesses and recognition. And I thought that was wholesome and a really positive way to handle things. Gonna cry. I was at the end of a boss battle and I was about to win my game. That sucks. That sucks, nightmare. That's happened to me a few times as well. There's no worse feeling than when you're about to win and it all goes down. Can't wait for the Little Nightmares 4 announcement in 2027. I hope that's a thing. Like, if that, bear that in mind, Ghoul, because if that actually happens, then you called it now. Then you would be the best theorist. I want a Very Little Nightmares 2 because I fully believe the flashlight theory, so it'd be cool to see if Gemini was right about what happened. Yeah, I'd love that. I would absolutely love for them to explore another mobile game. I always thought that was something that they've, like, sort of not missed out on, because they know what they're doing. There's obviously a reason they haven't made a Very Little Nightmares 2, or even had that much involvement in Very Little Nightmares 1, But yeah, I would be enthused to play that. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I don't only have a long crochet, but I also have mono one. Gemini, can you react to it on stream? It's on my community post. I will try, Cheese of Truth. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let me see if I can bring up the... Because the thing is, I don't know what's going to happen when I close this page off, you see. It might crash my stream, and I really don't want it to. So let me just make sure I can... Slay the Princess is a fantastic game, choices based. Should try it out, it's very underrated. Yeah, I probably will check it out. Yeah, probably will, Klamari, because I like, funnily enough, my friend RJ from the YouTube channel Casual Hardcore Gamers, he flew from the United States to England to see me here in Britain, and he bought me a Batman game. And we played it together, and that was entirely choice-based. So he played the game and I made all the choices, and we had loads of fun. So choice-based games can be a lot of fun. I really enjoy them, and it was something I could play from the comfort of my sofa as well. So that was really nice. Let me see. Cheese of Truth. Oh, dude, that is dope. Absolutely dope. That's really cool. 1 second. Oh, that is really cute. I like him a lot. Excellent. I've got the sound off and everything here. Like I hope you guys don't mind. It's because there's certain things I can't do with my OBS because I've got it set into streaming mode and everything's linked to the stream deck. You won't be able to see what I can see, and if I try and close it off, the stream will end. So unfortunately, I can't bring it up on stream right now. But for those of you guys that are interested in what I'm reacting to right now, check out Cheese of Truth. So just click on their channel because they've got. I'm actually looking at a mono plushie right now, and he's absolutely gorgeous. I like him a lot. I love one of those. I'd put him on my shelf with all of my other little friends. I've actually got a little mono right here. There he is. Check him out. There's my little mono in 6. There you go. Okay. Let me just close this off. Where's my thing gone? Oh, please don't have killed my chat. Ah, no, there we go. No, we're still live. We're good. We're good. We're golden. Think Little Nightmares TikTok compilations on YouTube made me download TikTok back in 2021. Now I have over 5,000 followers for making Resident Evil edits on my... Oh, that's so cool. Listen, so winter is underrated. You should check out my friend, the Notorious Bass. So Notorious Bass is a Resident Evil YouTuber. He's got like 17,500 subscribers and he does 0 damage runs. So the guy is bulletproof. He plays all the Resident Evil games and he doesn't take damage. He plays every single one, all of them, and he never ever gets hit. And he is making a series of shorts recently, and that series of shorts was made with myself. I helped make those, and it's basically a who would win. So if you like Resident Evil, go over and check out the Notorious Bass's channel, and tell him Gemini sent you, because he'll appreciate that. I get on with him really well. He's a very nice guy. He's from New York. New York City, where we're walking here. Hey, I'm walking here. Alex the Frog says, Gemini, how do you feel about that one official FNAF book story about a guy getting pregnant with spring traps? That is grim. I didn't know that was a thing. That's a thing. It's like, so I've never read the books. I don't know a lot about FNAF. It's something that I know it's super popular, but I don't know a great deal about it myself. So I didn't know that. Nor do I want to know that, because I know what Springtrap looks like. I've got a toy of him down there. Like, I've got a little Springtrap toy. Why anybody would have a child with it, I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of grim. But thanks for the nightmare, Alex. I appreciate it. I wish Very Little Nightmares was a main game in the main style. Yeah, I always thought it would be cool to remake it. If I knew, because I don't know that many game developers, and any that I do know don't really dabble in like creating Little Nightmares, or anything. You know, it's not just like I can reach out to them and be like, hey, you should make this, and then they just throw together a game. Like, game development is extremely hard. So yeah. Batman game made by the Walking Dead choice based game. Yeah, I think it was that one, Winter, I believe. Oh, right then, guys. Well, it is currently 9:15. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes, give or take. So I think I am going to wrap up this stream here, because I still need to get some work done this evening, and I still want to go shower and all the rest of it because I've been working out. Alright, Jem, why does everything I say connect to your personal life? I was born in New York City as well. Hey, that's cool. Maybe you'll get to know him. Like, one day you might meet who the Notorious Bass is. You might know the guy I'm actually talking about. But yeah, so just real quick, if you haven't already, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed any part of this stream for any reason you enjoy my face. And thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Keep an eye on your community tab because October has a lot of interesting things coming up. Obviously, we have some announcements and all the rest of it. But yeah, I think we've discussed about everything there is to discuss. I've had a great time chilling with you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you being here. If you haven't already voted on the poll, please do so, because I'm going to stream for the next like 60 seconds, let you guys get out any last little things you want to say. But if we're all done, don't forget to drop me a little eyeball in the live chat so that I can see how many of you guys are members, because that always makes me smile. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I'm going to drop you guys an eyeball. There you go. The all-seeing eye of Gemini. Yeah, this has been dope, guys. I've really enjoyed having you all here. Thank you so much for all of your votes and all of your comments. Keep an eye on what's coming up on the channel, because like I say, I'm going to be putting out some community posts with regard to the art competition. Well, not necessarily the competition, but the video I'm going to do in the future where I celebrate like artists surrounding Little Nightmares franchise from my community. That's you guys. There is going to be a special giveaway live stream coming up close to Halloween. It will be a Halloween live stream, but it'll probably take place before that on the 26th. So again, make sure you got notifications turned on so you don't miss that, because you'll be getting in with a chance for a giveaway, and it will be a free giveaway as well. Won't cost you a penny. All you got to do is show up and you'll be entered immediately. And also my chapter 4 of the Little Nightmares DLC, speculative DLC, will be coming out in October as well. So yeah, I hope you guys are all looking forward to that as much as I am, because I'm going to have a lot of fun throwing you guys some twists and turns and curveballs and letting you make your predictions and then laughing when you're wrong. But until then, that's game over.